That was my notification. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was Microsoft letting me know. Letting me know how I can use OpenAI in my low-code solutions. At 3:08. It's 3:08. And I was pondering about my low What was it? My low-code solutions. It's on my mind. I do wonder how the emails work sometimes. Do they send one off and then like why 8 past 3? Do they send them off in batches? They must do. I'm not too sure how it works. Hi Ben. Ben would know what a low code solution is. And hi Tiger, how's it going? I need to zoom in. I haven't. K-Pow Bandit. Nice. Can you do emojis? I was trying to post an emoji in the Twitch chat, and it didn't go so well. Extra comfy emote. Yeah, comfy emotes. I need to start collecting comforting emotes. Oh, don't worry, Ben. I've just started. I've just hit the button. Not quite. I've just hit the. I've moved from the start screen onto the. This is a habit. I always name. I name like the layer, or the thing that I'm kind of mostly working on. I always call that the stage whenever I'm naming things in files. I used to do it when I did Flash animations when I was a kid. I remember I'd always have. I mean, you could get. Did anyone used to do Flash animations? You could. I mean, you'd have so many layers, but I'd have like stage would be my like main one where all the characters would go, and then you have foreground, background. But the game. I mean, the Garden Path is really just one. In Godot, it's called a scene. It's really just one scene. Like the main menu's a scene. But anyway, that scene's called the stage, and I quite liked. I named everything after, as though it was a play, as though the whole thing was a play. And then Callum came on to work on it, and we had to rename a few things. And then we still got director and stagehand. I think those were quite descriptive, classes, but. Couldn't have curtains up. Had to rename curtains up for the function. I was just saying, Ben, I got an email about low code. I actually can't say it. Low code solutions. I don't know what that is. What differentiates a low code from a high code? I thought you might be the one that knows. You can do emoji. I have no idea what that is. I'm a high code kind of guy. So maybe I'm a high code. Maybe it's just what you're feeling, you know? So if you don't know, is it just, they just assume you're meant to know? High code and low code. I don't know if anyone... Oh, we've lost a couple numbers, but my Mastodon post popped off. I'm not sure why. So maybe if anyone's in here from Mastodon, low code is a drag and drop thing that writes code for you. we don't do that. We don't do that. Oh no. Wait, can I? We've got a. I don't know if there's any mods in chat. So nobody posts bread. This guy posted bread. I actually don't know. I'm a VIP, but I don't know what that means. What can I do with that? What does it mean to be a VIP? Well, nobody go to that address. If you mod me, I can remove it. I don't even know how to mod you. Can I mod myself? I'm not even on my account. Maybe I should do that. Okay. I'm sure I can do it if I go into my. Bear with me. What's the opposite of? I'm trying to think of a word. Like the opposite of encourage. Here we go. Am I signed in? I am. Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't want to pin it. And I don't want to reply to it. Mod view. Spam reported. Discourage. I think it's a different word I'm thinking of. That's just the opposite of encourage. Like lament or something? Lament. Wait, welcome to mod view. Your new canvas. Skip all. Dissuade. It's obviously not lament. This is a great start. Oh hey, we got Clara and Paddy in the YouTube chat. Your hair's so long. I'm here from Mastodon. Welcome in, guys. You can't see the I suppose it would be on the stream. Learning how to mod Twitch with Louis. I genuinely don't know what to do. Oh, it says Fern's in the chat. Fern would be able to do it. Oh, use chat command ban username. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Ban. Boom. Okay. Oh, thanks for that. That did it. Okay. We're moving forward. Cool. Very nice. Opposite of encourage, dissuade. I feel like there's another word. I'm not sure what it is. I don't want to spend all day thinking about it. Oh, go on, thesaurus.com. I'm sorry. I'm going to be thinking about it. Thesaurus. I've been on Thesaurus. I've been on thesauruses a lot recently. I've been doing localization. Which means writing a lot of stuff. Thesaurus is a good... I know you can like, you know, you can go ham with thesauruses, can't you? And you get ridiculous. But it's good. Sometimes you just need that little prompt. If I do disencourage, discourage, dampen, confuse, dismay, disparage. I feel like none of these are what I was thinking of, but maybe I'm at that point where it's just it's a white whale. It's something I'm never going to find. How's the game coming on? Oh, thanks for asking. I think it's kind of it feels like gears are in motion. In kind of in sort of a slightly scary but kind of good way as well. Localization's taken me a little bit longer, preparing it anyway, than I'd hoped. But I think yesterday I pretty much sent off the bulk of all the game's text, and then I think we're gonna I'm gonna kind of be trickling in text, because I don't know if I can guarantee that everything, you know, everything I've written is for sure what's going to be in the game. I'm not sure, but yeah. And localization is hard because there's a certain amount of generative content in the game, and I don't know how any roguelike is able to, like, I don't know how they localize roguelikes, because I mean, we were just talking earlier, like the game auto generates regions for the garden, so it would be like I had the sheet up earlier, but it would be like cottonwood thicket or something, and it would find cottonwood as like a descriptor and thicket as a noun or something, and then it would put the two together, and you've got your region name. And then characters might be like, oh, I saw Augustus over in the cottonwood thicket, for instance, and so it would replace it. It would kind of look for where Augustus is and then replace the dialogue. But anyway, and just now I was speaking how the French, like, in French, they don't always use the word the, and sometimes they replace the word the with ow. And of course, and there's the whole thing with feminine and masculine, which is a huge nightmare, because I think every single item in the game we have to declare as whether it's masculine or feminine, and then singular masculine or singular feminine. And then I think also in French there's only for masculine, there's it changes whether or not it's a vowel at the beginning or a consonant. So that's like 5 different categories, and then we need determiners for each of those categories to make the grammar make sense. It's stuff like that. Oh dear. Oh, hi Fern. No worries. I figured it out in the end thanks to Slacks. They know exactly what to do. As a native French speaker from Quebec, I agree that French is a total nightmare. And I had no idea. I feel like every language, I feel like every time I speak to someone, they're like, our language is the hardest language to learn. And I remember people used to say that about English, but I I feel like English, in a lot of cases, there's there's a lot of I mean, the fact there's no genders. There's no sorry. What's the term? Is it gendered nouns? I'm not sure. But the fact we don't gender nouns is a big one. Other things as well. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. You kind of learning a bit of Chinese off and on, and there's a lot. I'm sure I've heard it gets a lot more complicated, but the Chinese don't even have different tenses based on the past or the like. They don't, they don't say like, oh, yesterday, what's that? Yesterday I tripped. They would say yesterday I trip, and you know that it's in the past because you contextualized it. You contextualized it with yesterday. That kind of thing. It's a very systematic language. From what I've learned, I'm sure I'm sure it gets more complicated as you kind of ramps up in complexity. But at least the kind of the low level Chinese is quite it's quite systematic, I found. Will there be any ceramic gnomes? Oh, sorry, I missed like Aesop Rock. Have we got any Aesop Rock fans? God, I used to listen to so much Aesop Rock. I don't know what happened to him actually. Maybe he's just chilling on an island somewhere, just saying as many words as he can think of. There are. I don't know if are they going to be ceramic? Are the gnomes going to be ceramic? I'm trying to draw an owl right now, and I think I'm doing a kind of a bad job. That was regards to the thesaurus comment. Yeah, no, I know. I I figured that one out. Ceramic owl. This is going to be a stone owl, I think. This needs to be higher. Maybe not. Maybe I just need to cut off. Yes, there are garden gnomes. I'll bring up the... By Control F gnome. We've got a fishing gnome, a sitting gnome, a stoic gnome. Those are the 3 gnomes that you'll be able to enjoy. Maybe there'll be more one day. I don't know what. I think stoic gnome is going to be just like stood. we've done that. Stood with like a pitchfork in hand. And then fishing gnome. I mean, it writes itself, doesn't it? And then maybe sitting gnome would be just watching you work, away. Google Noctowl. That's what your owl reminds me of. Oh, is that a Pokemon? If it's not a Pokemon, I'm going to sound so old. You just say something strange and then someone's like, is that a Pokemon? Yes. Actually, that might be a good reference. Although I kind of don't want to... I want the big eyebrows. I don't really want to... Is Noctowl. They really knocked it out of the park with the name Squirtle. I think usually Pokemon names take well, Noctowl. It's kind of bad, isn't it? It's kind of doesn't. Or a Squirtle. Squirt because he's water. Sounds like turtle. And it's got the beginning of squirrel because he's a squirrel turtle. Amazing. I'd be so happy if I came up with that. Squirtle. But then they did also do, was it Seal? Seal in Pokemon? It's just a seal. Wait, is he actually called Seal? But it's like 2 L's. Start singing Kiss from a Rose. Seal. Yeah, they kind of... Deadline was coming up on that one. If you were a Pokemon, what would you be? Which Pokemon? Because I think I'd be that one that's like a bundle, a big bundle of eggs. You know, just a lot of eggs. I don't think Squirtle has any squirrel in it. His tail is, he's got a squirrel's tail. And I think that's intentional. I think that's the idea. He's a water. He's a water thing mixed combination of a squirrel and a turtle. I think that's right. Execute. Is that it? Is it execute? And then he becomes a palm tree, doesn't he? Or sorry, the eggs become a palm tree. If you gather enough eggs. That's the name of the egg Pokemon. And then that's what you do in Pokemon, isn't it? You sort of collect eggs and then it becomes a palm tree. I vaguely remember that bit. Towards the end of the game. Executor for palm tree. So why are they eggs and not coconuts? That's a really good question. I never thought of that. Whenever I see your name Slacks, I always think of Snorlax. It comes into my head. Snorlax is S tier Pokemon, I think. Iconic. Next to Psyduck. I'm gonna have to Google Owl statue because I feel like I'm not quite. I kind of want it to be. None of these are actually quite what I want. Yeah, I kind of want it. I want it to be like one solid block. Slightly more abstract, maybe. Sandshoe's cool. I remember ditching my. What's it called? Your beginner Pokemon? I remember ditching my beginner Pokemon and being like, I'm a Sandshoe. I'm a Sandshoe guy. Maybe when I was like 8. Starter Pokemon, that's right. None of these owl statues are quite what I had in mind. I don't know what I'm envisioning. Time to get Louis to do a Pokemon playthrough. I did a Nuzlocke last year? 2 years ago. I didn't get very well. I did Ruby because that's like what I grew up on. I played Ruby, and I think I got to like the last town, maybe the last gym, and then I don't know. I got bored or something, or maybe my main guy. I just I put it down and didn't pick it back up. So it goes. I lost my Pokemon Sapphire cartridge. Yeah, to be fair, you can get them if you don't mind, or at least at the time. This was a long time ago, because I bought a replacement for my Ruby, and they sell them for quite cheap as long as you don't mind replacing the internal battery, which I think is pretty common. I think a lot of them, have dead batteries. You're drawing something like a European eagle owl. Maybe I shouldn't be drawing. I thought this would be really easy in my head. I'm not sure why. I just want it to be. I can really visualize it almost like a totem. Like but at the same time sort of, I don't know, owl-shaped. I just got to find the right reference, I swear. I swear. Maybe I should start on something else. Come back to the owl statue. Maybe I'll drop in the eyes. Maybe you could try a barn owl? I think I want it to be sort of okay, no, we're not doing this. I can't do this. But I think I wanted it to be like abstract enough of an owl that you almost couldn't tell. You almost couldn't tell what it was. Go on, should we do a gnome? Maybe I'll have him sitting on a log. We can do a gnome. But I always quite like, going back to, I don't know, I can't see I can't see myself playing another Pokemon other than Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I feel like there's a little bit too much going on in all the other games past it, and there's kind of like not enough going on before it. But I think maybe everyone feels that way about, the Pokemon that they played. Red Hat or Blue Hat, that's the key gnome conundrum. Let's go. Is that a gnome conundrum? I feel like red is the classic, isn't it? That's what springs to mind. Green Hat. I think we'll go green. Green for fishing. Oh no, I did it on the same layer. Rip that gnome. I like the plant behind your head. I think it's one of those banana plants. I feel like you see them everywhere because I think they thrive on they thrive on neglect. Hello YouTube watchers, we should communicate via the medium of Louis. Feel free. I wish there was a way to combine it somehow on the. There probably is a way. To combine it on the on-screen chat, but I don't know if anybody. I don't know how much the on-screen chat matters. Maybe if anybody watches the VODs. Yeah, it's I think it's a banana plant. I think I've only watered it about 4. That's a lie. I don't know how long have we had it. We got it when I moved into this place, pretty shortly after. So, a few years now. Probably a few years old. And I've watered it a handful of times. I just don't get why it seems like it's the tropical plants. It's the plants that. Oh, you know what? I want this. I feel like I want this gnome looking this way. Like his hand down here. Like maybe something's just caught his attention. Yeah, I recommend those things, whatever they're called. I'm sure they're quite easy to find. Hello Smashman, my name is Hans. Drinking has ruined my life. I'm 31 years old. I know that reference. I think it'd be fun to, in the Discord, do like because we have all those different teams of people. What's it a reference? It's it's Hans Moleman from The Simpsons. I can't remember. Is Is it an AA meeting? Can't remember why he says it. But yeah, and I think it'd be fun to do some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of competition between the teams. Everyone I know references The Simpsons. Somehow it mostly passed me by. The Simpsons as a whole, or the references. I think we might have talked about this before. But you haven't seen The Simpsons, or just didn't really, not something you really watched. It's fair enough. Yeah, because I'm on team carrot farming, which you plant carrots in the garden path, but you plant them for their seeds and their flowers as opposed to carrots. It was occasionally on Sky, but we had Sky for a short period of time when I was a kid. Yeah, we never had the. I remember when we got we used to always have the, in the UK it was BBC 1, 2, 3, Channel 4, and ITV. I think those are the 5. And I remember when we got Freeview. And to be fair, all of the extra channels were complete garbage. But I remember it was pretty crazy. It's crazy to think now you can just watch whatever you want. Rachel always says she wishes there's something about TV where you just you don't care what you watch, you just put something on, and that you kind of need to, even to an extent. I guess TikTok's a bit like that. Like you don't really choose. You don't really choose what you watch on TikTok, it just comes up. How did I watch The Simpsons? Well, it used to be on BBC. Me and Paddy were talking about this just the other day. It used to be on BBC. No, Channel 4. It used to be on Channel 4 at 6 p.m. every day. TikTok is the new TV. That's genius. Except it's a bit more tailored. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But, I think. Which is good. I think, if you. It's the idea of. Obviously, there's something about, did you see what was on it? Well, like I was saying, if everyone was watching Channel 4, 6 p.m., you'd all be watching The Simpsons. But I don't think, it's more so the idea of, just not choosing what you watch. Which I think is the sort of the thing that TikTok figured out. But there is something to be said. I feel like a lot of the platforms, they're trying to find this balance of you choose what you want versus we choose what you want. And I feel like nobody's quite figured out how to make those two kind of work together. Just yet, anyway. Everyone loving TikToks make. Oh, sorry, that was my phone. Makes me feel like an old man. I downloaded it the other day just because I had a Sunday to kill, and I lasted about 4 minutes on it. But it's got a lot of pros and cons. Glad to hear you're an old man too, Louis. I think we were toying with the idea of me doing TikTok streams. I thought we agreed green hat. No. Green hat for. The thing is, if I do blue hat for fishing, that's too cliche, right? Because it's like blue and water. I want to do green hat for fishing. That seems right. Seems right to me. Thematic. Got to break the stereotypes. Everyone send get well wishes to Fern, because that's why Fern isn't here today. If you're wondering why she's here in the chat but not here with me on stream. Hope you get well soon, Fern. What are the gnome categories? There's big gnome, little gnome. Are we talking? Oh, I think we answered this. Were you not listening, Ben? There's stoic gnome, sitting gnome, and fishing gnome. And maybe one day there'll be many more, but for now that's what we're working with. I look like I'm straight out of Bloodborne. Oh no. You just like walk in. Fern, I made you a cup of tea. Health bar just appears at the bottom. No, is that mean? I reckon I'm like that when I'm hungover. But it's meant to be London, isn't it? What's meant to be London? Oh, Bloodborne. And the gnome's gonna have a beard and moustache. Oh, you're one step ahead of me. I just added the yellow, sorry, the white to draw on our beard there. Just walked through the Barbican the other week. Never again. I did it on the wrong layer as per. Yeah, I was in London. Wait, where's the Barbican? It is. Okay. Near St. Paul's Cathedral-ish. Feels like some cyberpunk dystopian nightmare. I was in Chinatown. I can't remember if I've been to Chinatown before. I don't know if the lanterns are always there. I've either never been to Chinatown or they haven't had the lanterns up before. I only just walked through it though, but I just thought it's such a sort of famous part of London that I'm surprised I sort of hadn't registered it. I don't know. The Barbican is what they used for the planet. Oh, okay. Yeah, that rings a bell then. Have you read the entire YouTube comment? How am I meant to communicate? I couldn't pronounce it. Coruscant. The Barbican is what they use for the planet Coruscant in the Disney show Andor. There you go. I think I said that right. Yes, I'm aware. I think I'm aware of the filming going on there. Good comment, YouTube commenter. I think I might need to. I'm gonna separate out the gnome's legs. Should be easier to work with that way. Ponder's peanut butter sandwich. I just had a peanut butter sandwich. First one I've had in years. That's a funny coincidence. Maybe. Not sure. Hi, Sunshine. Welcome in. How are you doing? We're drawing gnomes. Or a gnome. Would have done it with Marmite too. But the salt content puts the kibosh on that, sadly. So I'm reading things like... As a kid, I used to like take something I'd written to my mum and she would always read it in like the most sort of Christopher Walken-esque way. I'm like, Mum, you're not meant to read it like that. Um, peanut butter. No, I struggle with savoury peanut butter. I had that peanut butter. They do the. I don't know if they have that. I'm not sure where you're from, Zlax, but we have a. Well, if you're talking about Marmite, you must be north of the north of the equator. Had some peanut butter with Marmite. I have to try that. Yeah, they used to sell it. Did they still sell it? Peanut butter Marmite as like the full package, not something you whip up yourself. I'm not sure. Morrison sell it. Oh, okay. Then yeah. And yeah, I thought it was awful. And I'm a big fan of peanut butter and Marmite. So it goes to show. But it's definitely one of those, you know, love it or you hate it, isn't it? Oh, cheers, Paddy. Take care. When you stream your turbo games. It's a Dota reference. I'm 65 miles away from Bristol. Oh, okay. Seen the jar before. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I guess you just spread it straight on toast. I've always struggled with people who have peanut butter on toast. I don't know how they do it because it's just so dry. Like peanut butter is quite claggy, isn't it? And I just don't know how I just don't know how they do it. I broke my 4-year Dota hiatus the other day. And I'm liking the changes. But no. Don't return to the darkness. I don't see myself. It's I mean, man, those are some good times. Uni. We used to say work hard, play Dota. But I've kind of gotten to that age where, you know, my brain's fried in the evening. I've been working 10 hours. You kind of justified whatever you want to do. If you want to watch the same episode of Seinfeld you've seen 100 times, if you want to level a World of Warcraft character to level 10 just because you feel like it, nothing's off the hook, you know. Can't play Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I like money. I like having some money. So I think I'm gonna be avoiding Magic the Gathering. I also I struggle with actually I like the Tula hat. I really like the idea of a card game, like a something that feels like a trading card game, but like there's one deck, or like I know the whole point is that you buy the little packs, then you know the with the foil, and every year there's always new cards. But I like the idea of like a game where maybe you build a deck from like one sort of and you kind of buy the 52 cards or something, and then you like I don't know. But I feel like the idea of like not being able to have some of the cards has always kind of put me off. Because I'm not too fussed. I'm interested in the playing and the strategy, but not too interested in the. Sounds like you're talking about Keyforge. I don't know Keyforge. For sure looks like a card game. I will investigate it. Oh, it's got a cool Triceratops. Is he a space? He's a space Triceratops wielding a sword. That's kind of cool. I rate that. I'll investigate. Base Star Realms is good too. Is that the kind of thing though? Like when you say base, like how many people are playing base Star Realms? Do you know what I mean? I don't know what Star Realms is, to be fair. So I don't really follow trading card games that closely. I do like the idea. I'd love to do. There's a game called I can't remember now, but it's like it's a bit like Stellaris, but it's like and it's real time, but everything kind of pretty much all your actions take about 2 days, or not 2 days, but a few hours, and you can sort of set up, what you want to do, and you check back in on the game and see how everyone's doing. I'm surprised there aren't more games like that. Subterfuge. Oh, did I say that funny? I think I did. So that really rings a bell. It's not that. Is it recent? Oh, 2015. Oh, right, on mobile. I'd need it to be on PC. I feel like... Did anyone play that game Black Desert? I remember that was really cool for about a week. It was like this game that you could... Like this MMO with amazing graphics that you could like minimize and sort of have in the background. Your character would like go and deliver some beer while you were... I don't know, while you were working. It was kind of like an AFK MMO. People still play it, I'm sure they do, but I think it has this ridiculous. But it was so overwhelming in every way. I wish there was just an MMO that I could like. It'd be really cool. That was really. I think the combat, and I've heard it was like really. I don't know. Really, I think pay to win. I'm not sure. There was weird random elements. I don't know. I didn't really want to get too much into the nitty gritty of it. Like, I think it was all kind of built around guild warfare, where like only 2 guilds. You had to be really good to actually engage with any of it, which required like a million hours of your time. I guess Eve is probably a bit like that, but I don't think I'm ever going to touch Eve. Don't see myself doing it anytime soon. Guild warfare legally distinct from guild wars. I mean, it's just, I'm not sure what they called it, but because you had territory, you had like nodes that you could harvest and stuff, and you'd have to fight over them. I think that was broadly the idea. But yeah, I wish there was a game like that, but like done really well. That would be kind of cool. More just like, I don't know, long time, because we did a game of Civ. We did one of those play by email Civ games with about 7 of us. And I think I got wiped out. I got wiped out 2 years. I got wiped out 2 years after we started. But it was just cool to occasionally, it wasn't multiplayer robot. It was Play Your Damn Turn we used. We did try yours took about 3 years, yeah. I think people started losing interest, which is a shame. And we kind of made an agreement not to wipe anybody out, but I think that people gave up on that, I guess. But again, good fun. Honda's trying to fix issue. Oh, I don't know what's that a reference to? I'm not sure. Oh. It's a Godot issue number, is it? Hang on. I'm not familiar with issue numbers off by head, off the top of my head. Here we go. I was really familiar with one issue where... Oh, you were talking about tab containers earlier. Oh, there you are. You're in it. 5 days ago. Editor preview of the contents of a tab container is incorrect for every tab except the first one. So is this? Are you fixing this, or are you kind of throwing your hands up? I really don't use. I feel bad. I'm thinking about it. Okay. I very rarely touch the UI stuff in Godot, but I've heard it's really good. I've kind of built my own UI system. Oh, thanks for following, Hazy Sunshine. Really appreciate the follow. Because a lot of the UI in the game is kind of like floating and kind of is tied and it's sort of in the world and stuff. And I don't know, I found it a little bit limiting to have something kind of so rigid. But yeah, for a long time, it was broken in Godot that you couldn't do animation easing on more than one frame when you were animating. And it kind of just got fixed. The issue was never resolved, but it just got fixed in one random update. I'm not sure what caused it, but I remember I was closely following that. But I used to animate, and some of the characters have about like, I don't know, like 20. I think, but Tom in particular has like 20 different animated parts, and I'd have to click on each individual keyframe for every single animation and input the easing. It wasn't practical. I was like, I have to hold off actually doing any animation for this. But I feel like maybe people just don't use easing that much, apart from me and Godot, but I feel like it's such an important... It's crucial to character animations. But hey, it's fixed now, so it's all good. I've learned a lot about, tween-based animations and what looks good since starting Godot. Because it's quite easy to get into that weird sort of where everything kind of feels a bit disjointed, all the different parts. It took me a while to really figure it out. I think some of my early animations are a bit rough, but I think they're okay now. Games animations are okay. Stuff like what gives Augustus when he's walking that weight. It makes him feel like a sort of a big bear. There's certain tricks you can do. I'm trying to think how big to make this gnome's beard. I just realised his trousers are the same colour as his skin. Go for some darker trousers, maybe. Oh no, I separated out the legs, didn't I? Yeah, that looks good. And I'll give him his little hands. Over here. It's actually turned out better than I thought it would. It's a gnome stream. You never quite know what you're going to do. Today it would be the gnome stream. And the other gnomes are pretty much done. I'm not sure what file they're in though. I've got a million different files with art assets. I was going through them the other day, sorting them out. I'm generally pretty good with naming things, folders, you know, that kind of thing. I know some people like have, you know, they've got the desktop folder and then they've got like just folders of like junk. They've just dropped and dragged everything into that one folder, and then it's just sort of layers and layers of folders. There's a big folder called to sort in the Garden Paths main thing, and I do need to go through that, but it's mostly promotional stuff. Will there be holiday themed gnomes? Will there be holiday themed gnomes? It hadn't occurred to me. Like a Christmas gnome. I'm not too sure what other holidays. I wanted to do, again, there's kind of, there isn't the game doesn't have sort of real world events. It's got its own calendar and seasons. And holidays. So there isn't Christmas per se. But I think three gnomes for now, I think. And we'll go from there. I'm kind of in a funny stage at the moment where I've kind of locked in everything that's all the items that are going to be in the game, but I could probably come up with a couple more in the next couple of weeks. But there'll probably come a point where I really need to be like, yeah, just three gnomes. I'm going to do some detailing now. I've been working on in the game. I'm really happy with the trading in the game at the moment, but it's kind of, well, I wasn't happy with it, but I'm happy with the concept in general. But I needed to make it a lot more user friendly, and I think I've been sort of halfway with it for the last few months, but I think I finally cracked it. I didn't realize. I mean, I went into the game like it's going to be a game with no money, and I think I sort of didn't realize that sort of was such a was kind of the decision of the game, because it changes everything when you don't have a single currency to sort of funnel everything into, and when characters don't just like want money. But I'm really looking forward. I need to tweak the algorithm a little bit. I think it's a little bit too easy at the moment, but I'm hoping it'll be ready by the end of the week. Hoping I can finally get rid of those really ugly I don't know if anyone remembers those little circles that appeared below the inventory, but finally move away from those because they were always kind of temporary. Poor hardly started owl. It's so bad. I need to. Oh, what's happened to my? There it is. I just need to find like a. If I can find a good enough reference, owl. Maybe I don't want stone owl. Oh, owl statue. I've googled. If I do stone owl, I've maybe spent too much of this stream though looking at stone owls. I found something kind of. Name is looking dope. The nose is on point. Yeah. Where are they gone? I mean, that's kind of like, that's like a blocky owl. That's a blocky owl. But I don't want it like that. Ooh, this one's kind of good. My tablet does this thing where it removes all mouse acceleration from my mouse, like randomly. This guy's kind of funny. Owl totem pole. I totally overestimated my ability at drawing a blocky, convincing owl. Tall but a bit rounded. Yeah, it's a little bit goofy, this one. I like this. I like the I like the am I just thinking about this wrong? Like, Noctowl has this bold patch, but I kind of like how, I guess the bold patch would be behind, but I like this kind of moon shape. It's kind of a shallow moon. And I do want it to look like one cohesive bit of stone. Eyebrow feather thing. Yeah, maybe I've gone a bit too dramatic on the eyebrows, but maybe that's kind of okay. Like if you get like something like, yeah, you take it away like this. And then what I would sort of move that up like that. I mean, how far down? Oh yeah, and then you kind of have to sacrifice. I mean, hey Alex, how's it going? Welcome in. Love the gnome, thanks. Yeah, gnome's okay. Gnome is okay. Maybe I should, I'm gonna shade his beard quickly while I think about the owl some more. Without the alpha layer, he looks like he's just woken up. Do you reckon? Or like this? Oh, even more so. No, he's a well-groomed gnome. He's got the oils. He's got the brush. Bed beard. Hi, Sparrow. How do you draw? Got a tablet? Yeah, I've got. God, it's really old now. I think I've. It's one of those. I don't know what happens if I unplug it. It's one of these Wacom. Wacom Intuos. It looks a bit bigger because you can't see the whole thing. It's an A4 one. I've had it since. I remember spilling. I spilled a load of sugary drink on my last one, and that was in 2013. So this is 10 years old now. Pretty good going for a bit of kit. Pretty good going. And I realized you could actually buy like off-market nibs, because the nibs are the things that you kind of burn through. I haven't changed this one in a long time actually. Because they give you like 3. But I bought like a pack of 20 for £4 or something. So now I'm just set for life. Until it conks out, I guess. I need to... it's a real... In the past... Because I was doing freelance work even 10 years ago. And it was a real... You basically have to be like, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you until the new one arrives. But I'm kind of just riding on that. To be fair, next day delivery has gotten a lot better. Since 2013. I can't really... When was Amazon Prime a thing? I don't really use it anymore. But I remember in I remember in uni it was like it blew my mind. I'd have this project and I'd be like, I need I need some paints or something. I don't know. And I mean, nowadays I've just learnt that you can you can wait for most things. I think on a few projects it saved me, but oh yeah, that moustache. But yeah, I don't know what alternatives they sell these days. Wacom. Um, do I have? Do I have? Does that work? I don't know what they sell these days. Ugh. Ugh. See, because I don't want anything with a big screen, but I'm wondering if they still do. Oh, I guess these, they basically haven't changed since I've got one. I like these. I like this guy. This guy is cool. This robot with a brain. Oh, I guess this is the equivalent. In fact, this is the same as when I looked a few years ago, so I guess it's just not a line they really update anymore. Actually, I didn't look, because I hate Bluetooth. Oh, okay, so I really want something that's not, that's wired. I feel like everything that I use daily, I want just hardwired. Do they have screens? I think the screen ones are just so much more popular is the thing. I think maybe the technology got cheaper. They're still quite pricey. I'm glad to know I'm not alone. I know some people really need the but it's like if you're just using it every day, I just can't. I mean, I used to have a wireless everything, except my tablet. And maybe it's gotten better since, but it works for some things, doesn't it? So yeah, I guess this is wired. Bye now. Oh, thanks for following. Tikovsk. Thanks so much for following. No idea. They always like to hide the wires, don't they? They like to hide the wires. Make it look sort of a bit wireless. Even wires have gotten better now, though. Like I like the braided wires. There's kind of it's really hard to find. You get those braided wires. Do I want to unplug my keyboard? Like my keyboard wire is one of those like fabric. I guess it's probably like a nylon. And they fray, but you do get those sort of nice braided ones that are like a woven plastic. And those kind of just they stay good. I guess it ultimately doesn't matter. But if it's something you're sort of, using every day, it's nice to get something nice. That's my feeling on it. But my trackball's holding up. Actually, I used to get through a mouse about once every 2 years, maybe even shorter, just from they do the double clicking thing. I think we've talked about this before, But my trackball, I mean, well, unless it starts, if it starts about now, then it would be on the same trajectory. The ear cups of my old headphones are shredding, and I decided to try Bluetooth headphones. Bluetooth headphones are, yeah. The funny thing about headsets at least, because the technology doesn't have enough bandwidth to do high quality audio and microphone, does it? So it sort of reduces your audio to sounding a bit like a telephone, which is unfortunate. I don't think they ever tell anyone that. Because I got a pair of like earphones, and I was like, oh, it's cool. I can just like, when I'm out and about, I can do play games and use sort of TeamSpeak. But it was completely. Oh, that was the issue. Okay. Yeah, they never. They just don't tell you that today. They should say like not recommended for headset use or something. I'm not sure, but then people wouldn't buy them then, would they? Bought new ear cups because I bought. Have I got them here? No. But yeah, I got the Pixel 5, and I remember when I got it. You do the whole like, it's not that big an issue that my phone's not got a headphone jack, but I've got this like Bluetooth dongle thing. It's really good actually, but like it's unnecessary. I wish I could just I just plug it in. I don't know. I had that experience the other day. I was using something and I was like, wow, I think maybe it was my laptop. I was like, wow, I can just plug in my headphones and just kick back and listen to something. Like I've just got my headphones here, I just plug it in. And now it's like you gotta, I don't know. I think we've lost something. I don't want to be, I don't know. And I don't mind a thick phone either. I kind of wish, if that's the justification, bigger batteries, and I quite like this like chunky thing that like has a battery that lasts like 7 days. I've been looking into getting like a high quality music player, because you can get those really chunky things, and they're basically Android devices. They output like they've got a really high quality DAC inside, so they should sound amazing, and yeah, and they've got a headphone jack, but it's a lot of money, and I can't justify it. Actually, when I bought my DAC, I can't hold it up, but it's like a graphics card but for audio. And I'm actually really glad that I did. When I was doing the soundtrack for the game, it actually made a really big difference. But I think if you're just like just like listening to music, you probably don't need a DAC. Gotta stop shading this log. I'll maybe do some highlights. I do want to. Oh wait, what did I do here? Wait, no, that's. Oh wait, did I color it in wrong? That's okay. I give enough of an indication of cloth. I mean, he's not a real gnome. He's meant to be a stone gnome. I kind of want fairly rigid shading style. Don't know how much to cast over his tummy. Probably something like that. I mean, the light wouldn't be hitting him there, would it? Probably, if it was, it would come just up like that, I think. Something like that. Give him sort of some big cheerful buttons. Yeah, I like that. Sorry, I should close my emails. Been loads of localization chat happening while I've been on stream. think it's all kicking into gear. Oh, where are we? 420. I still have no idea how one arts like this. You had a beige blob and now you have a gnome. Well, watch the VOD. And I promise you it wasn't witchcraft. But I think the whole thing of like, I don't usually, if I'm doing something quick, I'll do the whole like out silhouette it and then just like fill in the gaps. But it's not always the most. You kind of need a bit of faith. You need a bit of faith with it. I just watched you do it. I'm okay in the knowledge that I'm no artist. I remember there was a time, I might have spoken about this before, but I think really good practice is doing the silhouette thing. I think just like sort of visualizing the perspective of something and just being like, does that look like an actual object, or does that look bad? And I think I kind of had this. I think my ability as an artist has stagnated a little bit. I think I hit like a real stride when I was able to sort of start visualizing things in that way, which is probably around 2017. Got a lot of sort of awkward artwork. But then when I started freelancing, it's like you just do it every day. I mean, I've always said rocks are really good practice. And I stand by it. I think there's some rocks here. I mean, these are bad, but I think this was me demonstrating it, like drawing a convincing rock. And then, because essentially what I was doing with the gnome is drawing a rock that's shaped like a gnome, and then you just kind of have to figure out where the light hits it. But just sort of like, I think it's a good practice to kind of like draw shapes like this, and then just think about like where the light would hit this area, like sort of just imagining it in sort of cubes. I think that's sort of what you know, like you just imagine this moustache bit is just protruding from here, so you make that lighter. You sort of think of everything as like a block of sort of a geometric shape. I mean, most of the shading I do is fairly flat. I think it sort of just sits, you know, I do two tones. You know, you can start. I tend to like for things like this, for rocks. Sorry, for logs, you can start. I think I prefer like the blocky shading for the shadows, and then sort of you can maybe like for here, like maybe it fades up, maybe the light sort of fades over it, and it gets lighter here. Oh, wait. Oh, it's because it's. I'll do. No, I'll need a separate layer for that. Too sure how the light would hit here. Maybe you just come across it. Probably not enough room for it. Should I come back to the owl? It's even worse than it was. Oh dear. Keep going back to the gnome. Oh yeah, for instance, I was just saying, wasn't I? Oh, I might need to, if I drop the opacity. That's okay, to be honest, but I'll just lighten it a little bit. And then maybe the tip of his hat. I could do like a just gradient that slightly. if you want to get that sense that something is crimped, a really good way to do that is sort of like, or I do this with the stone here. Oh, I haven't, but have I done it anywhere? These stones are a little bit older, but where you kind of run the light along the where you run the light along the shadow, but like this, and it sort of gives you that sense that the light has just hit the edge there, and that there's kind of like a much harsher surface. But I think we've talked about Homestar Runner before, but I used to, how did they do shading? I remember they used to, I'm always kind of afraid, I never want to do the Homestar Runner thing, as much as I love Homestar Runner, it definitely had a certain look, but they would kind of like, they draw a character, it would be kind of like this. Say this was their head. The Homestar Runner way of doing things is like, you add this like bit of shading, and it would kind of just come up over here. Like that. And then the shadow would be essentially the same thing, but on the other side. A bit like that. And you kind of get this like, I think everything just sort of looked a bit like a button. I mean, I used to do that. And it's kind of hard avoiding this sometimes. But nothing is really shaped like this. Nothing's really shaped like a disc. Very few things are anyway. I think that's where you stop doing it. You know, you want to be like, oh well, you know, if it's a person, then maybe, you know, the light's going to cast down over there, and then, you know, their nose is going to maybe, you know, his nose is going to be here, and their nose is going to cast a shadow down there, and you sort of start getting sort of more interesting shapes, and you don't have to. And then when I've kind of flipped, I've flipped the shading here a bit, and then maybe it hits their nose, and but like for instance here, if you want, you know, to do the Homestar Runner thing, you'd kind of wrong layer, you'd kind of draw the shading just on the edge here. Sometimes it works, but it kind of gives the feeling, I don't know, it sort of looks a bit too. It kind of works when it's really hairline as well, and this helps just make it more readable from a distance. But it looks a bit too much like, it's been rendered a bit too much like it's plastic or something. That's okay for now. Maybe the trick with the owl is that we go, I do like head first and then body. Like I know I want the eyes. Something like this. Ow, ow. I'm not too sure what the relationship between the eyes and the... And then what, the beak just comes down here? I think maybe also, yeah, I need to bring the wings in a bit more. Like the wings come in, and then he's got like a stable surface, I think. But I also want to bring that perspective in. Where it sort of just seems like it's leaning. Ah, this is okay. If I make that a little smaller. You know what? I think what I'm missing... Ah, that's it. I was doing it the wrong way around. I was doing his tail like this, but it should be kind of down like that, I think. Although that looks a bit like a... looks a bit like a wing. I want it to be sort of like a tail feather. Like it's almost coming out at the back there. Just settling, sort of like that. This is a lot better. Create that shape. Like here, you know, you just if you you want something a bit like this, right, where the light hits. Yeah, it's creating that shape first. You can see there's this edge here, and then there's this edge here, and then bringing the light in just so that it meets. And then you want like a similar edge here, and then you can sort of see where you want to shade. Whoosh, like that. Sort of, anyway. Not too sure what the relationship between the top bit and the bottom bit would be. Could kind of bring that down like that. Yeah, I think because sometimes you want it like it's not a different bit of stone, but maybe it's just been etched in, and you can kind of work with some patterns. In which case, you know, it'd be something like this. That's okay. Give him the eyes. I'm not sure what I want the eyes to look like, to be fair. Something like that. I kind of like when things look a little bit sad. Not sure about that. Could maybe frame the eyes a bit more circular. Yeah, the best way to do that is kind of have... I mean, I'm not doing a terribly good job, but sort of have the shadow, you know, come in and then come out, so it's gotten thin here. Something like that. Or maybe because we're looking at it down, this bit's going to be thinner. This bit. Like that. Give sort of a bit more shape to the beak. Something like that. It's okay actually, it's okay. I think when things fall into place, they tend to fall into place. Not sure how to do the eyes. You can do some fun stuff, can't you, with concentric circles and things? I think Owl's eyes are really fun. I think almost I'd love to do like maybe there's lots of little dots. Maybe if I just draw it and then map it to the... And like that. How does that look? That's not too bad. And then the owl's eye would be maybe... I mean, there's so many things you could do. Like just that. Only looks like an owl. Or we could do one more big one with a little one inside. Could be that. Or it could be a sleepy owl. That's a bit too. I used to have a pair of pajamas with an owl that looks a bit like that. Sleepy. I want something a little bit freaky, you know. A little bit. Maybe it is just the one. Maybe I do a circle inside the dots. That could be it. And the trick to stone, I I mean, there's kind of, I never know exactly what I'm going to do, but sometimes you figure out, but where there's kind of like a divot, you essentially just want to add the light right to the edge, and then it just gives you that like hint that it's something like this. It could be the other side though. I feel like you kind of just have to intuit it. Like that. Probably the other side. Yeah. And that looks like it's indented a little bit. I'm probably too zoomed out for you guys. Not bad. Do I just copy it? No. We draw fresh. We draw fresh. I don't know how many dots it is though. Do I need to map the number of dots? I could copy it and then draw over it. That's probably the classy thing to do. I'll be able to sleep well at night. I think. Where has it gone? Where has it gone? On this layer. Creature's having a think. What is down here? Oh no. Whoa. Whoa. Is it my eyes? Hi there. It is. Okay. A little bit smaller. Maybe I don't need to redraw it. Maybe we're okay. Okay. I made the mistake of I haven't coloured this in the same as the body. No, what I've mapped it to the same layer as the. That's okay. That's okay. There we go. Then we can start playing with colour. I guess the classic is like downward arrows. Give a little bit of shading to the base. Might make that a little darker, just keep the head standing out. I need to separate him from the lantern. Anyone watch the season finale of The Last of Us? I'm not going to say anything, don't worry. Saw it last night to avoid spoilers. I'm kind of on the fence with the whole thing. I was going to bring it up but decided against it. Yeah, we're in spoiler territory. I'm not I think I felt Chernobyl was good. I liked Chernobyl, but game came out years ago. I don't want to. I feel like a lot of people are coming into it fresh, aren't they? I did anyway. I know a lot of people. It seems like we're people like me who haven't played the game. We're like gold dust. Everyone's like, oh, "Tell me what you thought." People really want to know like what it's like having that experience. I saw they're going to put the game out part 1 on PC. I feel like I'd be interested in picking up part 2 if it came out before the season. I'm sure a lot of people are in the same camp as me. They did that poll, didn't they? And they found out that people actually enjoyed things more if they were spoiled. Which I think makes a lot of... reflecting on it makes a lot of sense. I think we should not spoil things. Because I think the thing is, right, there's obviously certain surprising things that happen. But you can't... Having a non-spoiled experience is... You can't... once it's gone, it's gone. You can never have that. And you might as well at least experience it, even if it is a worse experience. I don't want to make this Outlook angry. But I think having an appreciation for how something is put together, I think that's kind of where... I think that's where the enjoyment comes in. I found myself enjoying a lot of things the second time through. I think I go into a lot of things thinking it's going to be a certain way. And then when it's not, I'm disappointed. But then I go into it a second time and I have a better understanding of what it wanted to be. I found myself encountering that quite a lot recently. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe the owl should be angry, I'm not sure. What did I have it as before? Something in between? Maybe something in between? But 9 episodes? What's that about? What's that about, eh? 9 episodes? What happened to 10? I might be crazy, but I miss... I think the trouble I had with... I think both The Last of Us and Chernobyl, and I think both are great, but I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think both... I feel like everything feels very deliberate. Yeah, both Craig Matt I don't know, is it Mattson? I feel like everything is done for kind of a dramatic purpose. And it's kind of clear what the takeaway is. I think everything is done well, but I feel like they could do some more, just conversations between two people that doesn't feel like going into it, you're like, these two people are expressing this because this. The show was almost exactly beat for beat the game. I've heard the thing is, though, that it doesn't quite translate because the game, obviously, it feels like a longer journey because you die a lot in the game. And so the pacing doesn't quite map out because of that. And then also because of that, you spend a lot of time just the two of them just talking together in the game, just as you're wandering around. And a lot of people are like, well, that just wouldn't have worked. Just wouldn't have worked on the show. But, I don't know. Maybe it would have. They did have some of it. Any takeaway from the show can be taken away from the game. I'm talking more... I think I really like the games... I really like the conflict. I like where it went. I don't want to spoil. I'm not spoiling anything. I think you're meant to feel a lot. You're quite conflicted about a lot of things. And I like that. But I feel like everything was done quite deliberately to make you feel like that, if that makes sense. But I need to watch some of my favourite shows again. I need to watch old Game of Thrones. I loved in the Game of Thrones when you had like two characters and they would just like have a conversation. But like the idea of the two of them having a conversation was just insane. That was kind of like the idea that these two people are finally like together and what they might say to each other. But I kind of like when things are done for no particular reason at all. Or at least done in a way that like allows people to sort of go down different paths of thinking. Which I think... I won't say anymore. I changed the topic. I don't know how long is it until the next season? I don't even think they've started shooting yet, have they? That's crazy. I was gonna say, yeah, like 9 episodes. I mean, give me some filler, you know. Give me some. Stop making everything so good. Just I don't think it. No, I heard it's going to be two seasons. Yeah, I heard it's big. Again, this is just me reading random comment threads. So, but yeah, it could be like, I don't know, just the idea of like hanging around. It's like 2 years into the next one, isn't it? I don't think this time next year we're going to be talking about it, but I could be wrong. I want to make this guy a little more blocky. And in which case, I think I'd like to play the game. I'd like to play part 2 before watching it, I think. I'll have a think. But I do not own a PlayStation. You're welcome to borrow my PS4 copy if you get a PS4. If I get a PS4, I think my brother might have a copy and a play. Oh, he's got a PlayStation. Is 5 the new one? Is 5 the latest PlayStation? No, is it PS5? I think it is, isn't it? Oh dear, I'm so out of. What's the new Xbox? Is Xbox One, PS3, and Xbox 360, and there was Xbox One. What's the new one? Is it just the Xbox? I've actually got no idea. I should know this. Yeah, I remember PS5. Xbox. Oh, Series S. Series X. Okay. And then Series S, is that like a less powerful one or something? I think we're getting that blocky owl I wanted. I think he's appearing. This is it. Heather and I have been discussing getting a PS5, so if we do, you're welcome to purchase my PS4. There's no chance I'm purchasing a PS4. But I appreciate the offer. I don't even know where I'd put it. How will you play The Last of Us Part 2? Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what their plans are. Maybe they're gonna release it on PC like they're doing with the first one, but maybe they'll wait until I don't know. I think my brother's got a PlayStation. I reckon he'd let me borrow it. I could be wrong though. I'm sure it's not a PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 is quite old, isn't it? Louis doesn't have time for such things as video games. It's just I like PCs because it's like, you know, you got everything. It's on your PC. I've got no room behind my television, guys. I've got too many Louis playing The Last of Us. Part 2, Minesweeper. Would people watch that? Me going, whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh no, guys, a zombie. Oh, they're not zombies, are they? Oh, I missed him. 1000%. I'm coming to like, there's a big difference between, and I'm not saying this is necessarily this, but there's a big difference between what people like the idea of and what people actually like. There's a rift. Do I have a pink name? I can't remember what my name is. Oh no, wrong chat. Hang on, I've got 2 browsers open. Pink name? Red. There's so many different colours. And symbols. So my guy's just a VIP, but he's not a dark blue for me. Oh, okay. Well. Just goes to show you. Oh no, a zombie. Oh, he's getting pretty close. You can imagine it, can you? I forgot to reload. I think it would actually be me reloading too many times. I think it's random if you don't set it. OBS chat. Do you pull up chat in OBS phone? She means on the stream. Oh! It's the same, isn't it? Yeah, the colours on the stream are the same as the colours that I see. So I don't, for whatever that's worth, I have no idea what that's worth. They aren't the same for me. Wow. It's like, you know that thought experiment, you're like, what if we all saw different colours, but because we all say that that colour is blue, we never truly know. We never truly know if we see the same colours. Oh, Fern sent me a message. Oh yeah, that's the same for me, yeah. It's the same for me. Wow. It's crazy how we all come from different places, different backgrounds, different experiences, and we all see things completely differently. And we don't realise until we come together and we talk about it. The canon is aesthetic. Psychology time. Come on, grab your friends. Where's my layer? Oh, it's there. Have you seen Adventure Time? I've seen some of it. I think I did. I don't know. Hang on. Wait, there he is. Adventure Time, IMDb. Let's see what I remember. It's going to be none of them actually, isn't it? I'm going to be like, it's going to be like, oh, Jake becomes a frog and... Wait, no, this is the latest season, isn't it? None of this looks familiar. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's just some list. Hang on. Adventure Time. Is it really 2010? I feel like it was earlier than that. Have you seen my crochet Finn and Jake? I think I have actually, they're really cute. Season 1. He's being the horrible monster and being terrorized by locals. Gut Grinder. I don't think I've seen that, so I guess I haven't finished. I don't think I've finished season 1. It is good though. Highly rate. What's going on here? They look like sweet potatoes. Is that what they are? Sweet potatoes? I like the washing line here. That's a nice touch. I was actually hired to draw like it was a show like this. I don't think it ever went anywhere, but I was actually hired. I drew like about 5 bushes. And they actually appeared in the show among other people's bushes. Crisp P Duck, it was called. No, it was a Chris P Duck. TV miniseries, 6 episodes. There you go. I might have drawn one of these. They don't know. No, I think I did. I think I drew this rock. I think. I don't know if I ever got credited. I don't think it matters. There you go. This is what I do. I draw rocks. I'm telling you guys. I remember drawing something like this rock. I might have even drawn this bush. I remember drawing something like this bush in the back here. But they weren't. I don't think they were too happy with my. I don't know, my format or something, my deliverables. I'm not sure. They didn't come back to me for Chris P Duck. We're going a bit longer, but I feel like this owl. I've just hit a stride with this owl. I'm just going to carry on until I feel that fading. God, I can't believe we're streaming. And it's still sunny outside. That feels surreal. I can't remember how it happened last time. Spring incoming. A little bit scary actually. I feel like winter's, I don't know. We had that cold week, didn't we? Where it's getting a little bit hairy with the heating bills. But fortunately, I think it's been fairly mild this winter. It just snowed a bunch here. Oh, it did snow here. We're still seeing Crispy Duck. Oh no! I'm sorry. Good save, Chris. P Duck. Yeah, it snowed here. When was it? A few days ago? It was just a little covering though. It was just a covering. At some point in this year, you will launch the garden path. I love Chris with the interviewer questions. I think I've not even allowed my brain to process it. What are you excited? What are you most excited for about launch? What am I most excited for about launch? I think I'm most excited about just the game being in a state that I would launch it. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I just, not even in terms of like bugs, but just being like, oh, hopefully it's an okay game. I think that's ultimately that's what interests me. I just want to make a cool game. The idea of people playing it is sort of beyond me, a little bit. I kind of don't think I try not to think about it. I really like feedback. I find feedback really interesting. I find what works and what doesn't interesting. Not so much feedback. I was thinking if I could like condense feedback, because into just like a measurable. It's like a spreadsheet. And then I could like react to that. Like I'm really interested in what works and what doesn't. But sometimes it's hard to like figure that out. Does that make sense? You can probably do that. I'm sure you can do things like, you know, when like you're kind of measuring, what am I trying to say? Like if you're using like Google Chrome and you say, oh yeah, please analyze my usage data anonymously or whatever, they're probably like seeing, oh, how often do they click on this button and stuff like that. And I'm sure you can spreadsheet that, but something like, oh, like, did this feel satisfying or something like that? Like you can't really map that. I don't think. I'm not sure. Oh, I was grouping this so I could do the perspective. Perspective's a little bit off. Whoa. But honestly, the idea of people playing the game absolutely terrifies me. But people have been nice enough so far that I'm sure it'll be okay. And I'm sort of excited. I'm both excited about potentially supporting the Garden Path moving forward. And I'm equally excited about if it's a complete failure. Getting my teeth into something new. But I think I'm, you know, both excite me. So I kind of can't lose. It's launch day. Okay, Chris, I'm there. What is the one thing you really hope people like, pick up on, appreciate about the Garden Path? I think I really I think the answer to that is I really want people to just want to play it, if that makes sense. I think there's this like it just makes sense to play it. If that, does that make sense? Like I'm putting it badly, but I don't want people to play it out of a sort of an appreciation for what they think it is, if that makes sense. I don't want people to be like, I owe this my time. Which I think it could, you know, it could be. But I want people to just think, oh yeah, of course I'm playing it tomorrow. You know, it doesn't need to go on forever, but just for a period. Natural part of people's routine. Yeah, I mean maybe. I'm not too fussed about it being, but just something that feels inviting. Something where it just makes sense to play. Makes sense to be playing, not to play. I'm trying to think of an example. Because I think that was ultimately my hope with the game, was to make something just playable, you know, something you just pick up and have fun, hopefully. And I think, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there. It's a hell of a lot more than it was. I just think I you know, once I click onto that, like I think that sort of sense of like, this is why I've picked up this item and this is what I can use this item for, which is a big part of the changes I've been doing lately. with items and whatnot. It's all kind of micro stuff. People often say nice things about the artwork, but like obviously I really appreciate that. But I think to your question, I think almost putting me aside from the game. I think that's it as well. I don't want people to think about me when they're playing it. Like, I like when people message me about the game. They've got a bit of feedback, and they almost kind of phrase it as though it's not something I've done, but it's something the way the game kind of is. Sort of just the way the game behaves. Like, it's this sort of separate entity. And it's not something that a human has sort of been deciding. I think that's an interesting game challenge. I think here is the wrong colour. It's like slightly pink. Can anyone see that? I'm not sure why it's like that. Oh, that's because that's not quite gone through. Oh. You do behave like an AI, to be fair. Me? I'm not sure what that means. Don't want to accidentally be drawing a Triforce. Can't believe you right now, Chris. I'm lost. "400 fingers making a game so fast." Is it fast? I don't know. There's a lot of time spent undoing things and learning, and would take me Infern longer. I mean, I don't know. 5 years? It's been a while. I hope it releases this year. I hope things don't go terribly wrong. I feel like 5 years is the... It's that point, isn't it? I've never done anything for 5 years. No, that's a lie. I was at school for 5 years. But again, I do want to continue working on it if people like it. It would take me 10 years because of all the fashion I'd keep adding. This owl's cool. Right, I'm gonna... Oh, thanks so much for watching, guys. Where are we at? Just past 5. What am I gonna do tonight? I love our little gnome boy. Yeah, I think the other gnomes actually look pretty bad. This one came out quite well. Oh, I was trying to find... There was a rogue pixel somewhere. I was trying to find... Oh, he's over there. What is this? Probably his eyes again. Gnome boy is cute AF. It is eyes. I think I'm going to keep him without eyes. Or I could at least do like a... If I were to do eyes, they'd look like this. If anyone is experiencing The Last of Us ending depression, may I recommend Poker Face, and also Yellow Jackets Season 2, coming at the end of this month. Okay. Poker Face. Bring up Crispy Duck again. Oh, is it 2 words? Crime television drama created by Ryan. Starlight is a case of the week. Oh, so is it like a procedural? Oh, Rachel's obsessed with procedurals. I think I've seen all of them. I think there's not one episode of any procedural I've not seen. So maybe it's not. But actually, if it is a procedural, she'd really like it if she's missed it. Actually, I quite like him with eyes. Oh, I keep meaning to do the perspective on this owl. So next stream will be on the 28th of March, it looks like. Unless something goes horribly wrong. Who knows what we'll be doing? Who knows who it will be? But give us a follow. Give the channel a follow. Is it a channel on Twitch? Twitch channel? Channel a follow. And I think it sends you emails or something, doesn't it? That's cool. It's like Poirot, but our generation. I've not seen Poirot either, actually. Stellaris update. I know I talked about it earlier, but I don't play it. But something to enjoy in the evening. I get a little beep on my phone when you start streaming. That's cute. Notifs are always on for TGP streams. Oh, you guys. If anyone has any last questions, let me know. And I'll try not to ramble for too long. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the thoughtful questions. But yeah, at Carrot Cake, from Carrot Cake, sorry, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Is that all of them? Probably. Wherever you might want to see us, except Facebook, we're not there. Just never got around to it. And the Discord. Oh yeah, and Otto says follow our Instagram now, which is cool. Discord, we do weekly little check-ins, pet photos, cooking. God, Fern's done them all. But yeah, I'm gonna be middle mouse click all of those. Oh, TGP on Mastodon. Yeah, it's more. It's my account on Mastodon. I try to post the big updates. Mastodon.art. How does it work? The link? Is it /@ Louis L Durrant /@ L Durrant? But thanks for reminding me, Sparrow. I don't know if anyone is here from Mastodon. Like I was saying, my tweet did quite. Oh, it's not a tweet, is it? It's not even a toot now. They changed it. It's a post, I think. Just a post. My post on Mastodon did quite well. For a I'm about to stream post. I usually get a couple. Content King. Link to said post. Link. Can I link it? It's just it's the same one as on Twitter. I just nicked Alex's GIF. It's just that it got 23 likes as opposed to like 3, and they all just streamed in within like the first minute or two. So, it's got the ugly old birch trees. It's an old. God, it's nearly 2 years old, that screen thing. Hang on, let me actually find it. There. I've been on a social media break for a month and I've forgotten how to Mastodon. No worries. Yeah, I've been not on Twitter nearly as much as I used to be. No particular reason, really. I've had less to post. I'm hoping I'll sort of be able to emerge in the coming months when there's less work. Hopefully less work on localization. And I deleted my Twitter when Musk bought it and never use my Facebook anymore. Happier for it. I forget Facebook exists sometimes, honestly. But It's funny how things happen, isn't it? Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought it'd be TikTok that would come and replace it? That's the next big thing. I'm still toying with the idea of setting up my own Mastodon server, but I probably don't have the time. I'm glad most of my friends moved to Signal. I don't have to use Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. Yeah, Signal's alright. Been using that with my mates. But otherwise, when I deleted my Facebook, I basically went through and just messaged like all the people I usually message sometimes. Which, you know, when you got some like bunch of people on Facebook that you just never talk to, do you? Usually, you kind of meet them at a pub and say hi, and then they, you know, it's that kind of weird. I feel like we're moving beyond that. Like with Instagram, there's that kind of like you can follow someone, but they don't have to follow you. Whereas the sort of the idea of like a friend is quite, what's the word? It's like symmetrical, right? And I think we're kind of, I don't know. I never like the politics of like whether or not you were friends with someone on Facebook, but like a statement where someone can follow you, and if you don't follow them back, it's like, you know, it is what it is. But I tend to keep my social media professional. I tend to, if I do follow friends, it's their, I follow art accounts and things and what they're kind of up to. You know, like some of my dancing friends, I follow their dance stuff. I follow Fern, she does her her makeup. I don't know what the garden path would look like on Facebook. I'm not sure. Okay. Hey. We've got a gnome, we've got an owl. It's been okay. Next stream, 28th. Again, no idea what it's going to be, but that's the way it is. And hey, I might even do a little stream in between. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a long one, this one. But that's all okay. I'm going to take it easy for a bit and then do a little bit more work. But thanks so much, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good evening, morning, all of those various time zones that exist. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.